Hello everyone, it's Readwithsneha here. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a long time seeing you all. Now that the college has reopened, I have to balance both the things. But all of a sudden, they gave us 4 days holidays and I thought, yes, the right time to make a video about the novel that I read called The Lunar Codex. It is written by Annie O'Connell. To be honest, this novel is kind of interesting because when I saw the cover page, I thought it is about some werewolves, vampire stuff. But honestly, the writer has blended all the elements of fantasy, realism, and most importantly, magic, of course. So, shall we see about this novel? Speaking of the novel, there are altogether 28 chapters and the novel runs around 357 pages only. Earlier, I used to take only 1 day to complete the entire novel. Now that I am working, it actually took 3 days. But it's alright because I thoroughly enjoyed this work because the prologue itself states that the protagonist, our protagonist of course, he's a young boy. He's around 3 years old and there is a car crash happening. This car crash entirely changes his life because now he is an orphan. Does something strike you? Harry Potter, right? Yes, that's what I thought because it kind of like immediately gives the Harry Potter vibes. As I told you, the cover page also shows vampires, werewolves, etc. So I thought that is what it is going to be about. But immediately the chapter 1 changes my mind because we see that he's actually like a grown up. He's of course like 12 years later the story begins in the first chapter where we see he's living with his aunt and uncle. But yeah, more or less this also gives Harry Potter vibes. But his uncle and aunt is very close to him. They are very loving. They are adoring this young boy. But as I told earlier, this accident or the car crash changed his life. So a young boy facing this kind of loss is completely undetectable. Like it's impossible to predict. So there's like a lot of trauma. There is sadness within him. Loneliness, alienation, like longing for love, everything happens there. So that is how this work begins. But trust me, even though it gives Harry Potter vibes here and there, the writer has done a lot of steps to make it like stand apart, and for that efforts we should actually appreciate the author, of course. Okay, enough with the introduction part. Let's get into the story, which is the best part. So the story begins by showing the protagonist, Jace Northell. He's at the age of 3. He loses his parents and now he is an orphan living with his uncle and aunt. So this uncle and aunt is actually convincing him that they are moving to some other neighborhood, and this neighborhood is like very cool, very friendly. There are different people playing in the streets. So this boy also can join them. He's probably in his teenage years. So he can also join them and enjoy his childhood. But then like he has his own hesitation, thoughts and everything. So we see that his uncle and aunt is convincing him that the new home will be comfortable. Finally, Jace is feeling that his childhood or his life will be normal just like everybody else. Because remember, he lost his parents in a very young age, and this loss is completely impossible to actually decipher, because even though we actually read a lot about it, few of us or a few of the friends would have gone through the same. So you can actually place ourselves in his own shoes and we can actually sense what kind of loss, what kind of feelings he would be going through. But then now he's feeling that his childhood is going to be completely normal just like everybody else. But is life that simple? No, right? Now that Jace Northell has moved into this new neighborhood, he has a lot of hopes for himself and his future. There he meets 2 beautiful friends. They are amazing. They all make a good team, of course. He thinks, yes, everything is normal, and it, of course, the story moves a bit slow paced here. But then the twist actually takes place. So his friends, though they seem to be appear something else, they're actually something else in reality. So he's kind of like a bit confused now. His uncle and aunt kind of like, there is a change in their behavior. They kind of start disappearing, and one of his parents who's dead, they start appearing. So what exactly is happening? Is something happening in his head, or is it something happening in real? The poor boy cannot decipher it. So now actually comes the real part where he feels, okay, something is happening and I need to find what exactly is happening. So just like every teenager feels, he feels that he needs to find answers to certain questions. That is why this is happening, or what is the reason behind it. Is he a part of something, a bigger plan? He wants to know all this. With that, the story completely takes a twist, we see that there is a change in the place. So the story gets fired and everything starts moving rapidly. I actually exactly like the point where I told you that the story, there's a change in the pace. So I exactly like the point. There is like as if somebody lit something on fire. So everything starts making sense and the story moves forward very quickly. So there comes the evil person. So there is a battle between good and evil, which of course anybody can actually sense it. So that is what is happening. And if you want to know further, don't forget to grab this book. It is completely available in Amazon. And as I told you, the elements of fantasy, elements of magic, everything is combined together. There is also like teenage romance, friendship, ups and downs, heartbreaks, everything mingled together. It's perfectly a complete package. That is what I would actually call it. Now that this first part has ended, we have to patiently wait for the second part. The entire novel is like thoroughly planned and executed. The blend of realism, magic, fantasy, werewolves and everything, all it is like beautifully connected. The writer has done a very commendable job in connecting both the major and the minor plot, the major plot and the subplot of course, and the main characters and the minor characters, their interaction, everything plays a very major role in making or taking the plot forward, which I think is very, very important. Speaking of the language style is absolutely very, very simple. Since our protagonist itself is a teenage boy, their way of exchanging ideas, their way of interaction, their way of finding solution, everything is conveyed in a very, very simple and clear manner, so anybody can read it. Like certain new words, so there's obviously a chance for learning something different and something new. And also that we really need to give special appreciation to the author for bringing out a novelty of ideas, which I think is like really, really good. The execution part, everything is done in a very good manner. So I would be recommending this book to all. If you are a fan of Harry Potter and all the other stuff, then you should definitely give this book a try. And then we both shall wait patiently for the second part to release and then we can read it. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.